Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to part 2 of my new bug-out bag system. If you have not seen part 1, please go do so. I show all the stuff you see there in detail and give a lot of philosophies. And also explain in detail the things that I would like to have in this bag but do not have at the moment. So just to prevent people from commenting saying that I need to have this, need to have that. One thing I forgot to mention, and I did not have in the pack at the time, is I have a pair of these work gloves in there. They're made by Firm Grip. High visibility, these have reflective fingers. I can be able to see it unless there's a light shining on them. But they have padded palms, which is good if you're doing the double horns, Texas Longhorns, wherever you're from. Anyway, they have the padded palms, which is going to help you if you're batoning through wood. It's going to absorb a lot of that shock, and it's going to save your hands from a lot of pain. Trust me. These do not have the protective knuckles, but they do have a padded top portion right here that will protect your knuckles slightly. But it's really good to protect your hands. If you're out there in the elements, guys, you want to protect your hands. If you're having to pick up wood, you don't want to get splinters. You know, I'm not saying you're a sissy and can't handle it. I'm just saying that's not something you really want to have to contend with when you're trying to survive. Even something as simple as a splinter, it can really, it can be annoying and can get your morale down. You're picking up rocks, messing with some chemicals, whatever. You want to protect your hands. That's vital. So having a good pair of gloves is key. Preferably some thick work gloves. It'd be nice to have some with some knuckle guards. The ones with like the plastic bumps on the knuckles. But any good thick work glove will do. So that's important too, guys. Alright, let's get into the main compartment to show you guys what I have in there. Zipper right here. I had been used to my my evac plan B, which had the zippers right here, so I was like, Open it up, and here's what I have inside. Hope everything is in view. It is. Alright. First of all, I have this little Maxpedition pocket organizer right here. Strapped to the zipper pull is a little minimalist knife sharpener from County Com. It's not great, but trust me, it will do in a pinch. This will sharpen your knife pretty well. If you have a machete or a big fixed blade, this can sharpen it pretty easily. It removes a good amount of material. It's not going to be able to get your knives, hair whittling sharp or anything like that. But you don't really need that if you're out in the trying to survive. I also have some tin foil in there in this little flap. Trust me, guys, you never know when you're going to need, or aluminum foil. I'm sorry, it's not called tin foil anymore. But yeah, have that rolled up in there because you can make a pot out of that to cook out of, or a bowl, or whatnot. It has a million and one uses. It's like duct tape. Anyway, open this up. And here I have in this double bag crazy glue. If you guys have some super glue, trust me, double plastic bag it. All right. I've had these things bust so many times in my packs and ruin the contents inside. So trust me, double bag these things. I have one of the Norton cleaning sticks from County Com in here. Some more small zip ties for electronics. This is like I believe it's an 8-in-1 screwdriver kit. Has 4 small flatheads and 4 small Phillip heads. Here again, good for electronics and smaller items. Here again, a redundancy, a Bic lighter. This is a box cutter. Push forward, it's got a razor blade right there. Redundancy, I have a lot of cutting tools. That's just one more. It's light, it's compact. In this pocket, I have another big zip tie and a pair of wire cutters. And here in this little pocket, what do I have in here? Hold on. Oh yeah, the diamond knife sharpener. This will do a little bit of a better job refining your edge. I would like to get one of the DMT credit card sharpening kits. But for now, that's what I have. And it's a Swiss tool, a little screwdriver. It's just kind of my minimalist urban tool kit. I do not have everything in here that I would like to have, but you know, it's a few extra little tools if I need them. I would have my Leatherman wave on me, so that's why I don't have, you know, if people are going to comment saying, you know, I don't have any pliers in there, I would have my Leatherman tool on me, so I have that. Alright, this I really want to do an extended video on. This is my toiletry bag. This is going to have all of my, you know, personal hygiene products in here. Like I said, I will do a full review of this kit in the future and then link it in this video. This is my Maxpedition. This is the horizontal GP pouch. This is the regular size. They make a slimline version. You can look that up on the website. These things are pretty cheap. These I think go for about $26. You know, it's got a big loop field on the front for your patches. Got a nice zippered pocket in the front, big zipper pocket in the back. Molly compatible. Got dummy loops on the side. I have a little small carabiner on there. Anyway, like I said, this is my toiletry kit. Front part right here, I have some tissue. Well, I have stuff stuffed all in here. I have some alcohol prep pads. I have a small mirror, little compact mirror right there. It's good for signaling and for, you know, looking at yourself. Make sure your guy liner is on. That's awful. Sorry. Anyway, open up the main pocket right here, and there's stuff crammed all in here. Alright, like I said, I'm not going to do too detailed because I am going to go into this exact pack in detail in the future when I do this review. But I do have a small thing of Vaseline in there, which is good for multiple things. I'm not even going to get into that. You guys have filthy minds. But, you know, you can use that to take care of some wounds. It is flammable. So there's a double purpose. You know, it's good to have things with multiple uses. If something in your pack does not have at least 2 to 3 uses, you might want to rethink it. You know, unless it's the obvious uses, you know, like fire starting. But, you know, if I'm going to pack Vaseline in here, you know, like I said, you can start fires with it. You can coat your firearm parts in it. You know, it's a lubrication or whatever. No, I did not mean like your firing pin or anything like that. So please don't comment saying that I'm stupid. I say, you can't do that, your firearm won't work right. Anyway, hand sanitizer down in there, deodorant. I have some of these little button towels, which you add water to, and they make a very nice towel. A washcloth is right there. I have a pack of toilet paper down at the bottom. It's like the camping toilet paper, so it's the small rolls. There's I think 2 of them in there. Trust me. Trust me, you guys are going to want some of that. There's a collapsible toothbrush in there with a small thing of toothpaste and mouthwash. And I think dental floss as well. There's some Q-tips in there. There's just all kinds of stuff. Alright, and that's important. Rather you're in an urban environment surviving, woodland environment surviving, you're in an evacuation, you know, you're having to stay at a FEMA camp or whatever. You're at evac point. You're going to want to keep up. You guys, you know, you're going to want to brush your teeth. You're going to want to keep smelling good. That's going to, A, keep up your morale, and B, that's going to keep you well. You know, you don't want to get ill out when you're trying to survive. Okay? So it's very important. Maybe you don't want that much stuff. You know, you guys can pick and choose what you want. That's just personally for me. I want to have all that kind of stuff. Like I said, this is a huge morale boost, and all those things, most of those things have a lot of different uses. You know, like the Vaseline, button towels. The hand sanitizer will also start a fire, so that's good. Alright. A pair of binoculars in here. You know, you can scout out a situation. You can see what's ahead before you travel, which is pretty good. And you want to know your environment before you're going into it. Alright, so that's just, it's small. One of those things, why not carry it? Okay? Small can't talk. Small fixed blade. This is the Mora Clipper, and carbon steel. Very, very sharp. Very, very nice knife to have. You have a good, nice rubber grip. Just a great knife. This is a good knife for skinning, food prep, light bushcraft. Trust me. It's been proven. It's been tested. It's just a great, very, very lightweight knife. And it's just a backup, because I would have a bigger fixed blade on me anyway. Heavy mill, thick garbage bag. These are one of the contractor's bags you get at hardware stores, like Home Depot or Lowe's. I just have one of these. You can make a survival sleeping bag out of these. You can make an improvised shelter out of them. You can just put all kinds of stuff in here. You can put this entire backpack in this bag to waterproof it. So it's just good to have. All right, something else that's very important. I'm pretty sure it's a no-brainer. Duct tape. Any color will do. This is a small roll. I found this at my local Walmart, and I found it at the checkout. You know, like the checkouts, they have all the different little type of stuff. You know, you have the little pill capsules and the gift cards and all that kind of stuff. So you might want to look there if you're looking for a small roll, because this is not as wide as a normal roll of duct tape, and there's not as much of it, so it's going to be smaller. It's good for your personal kits. This would even be good for your EDC. This would be good inside of an EDC or car bag. So, you know, duct tape, one of those things, in my opinion, is very important. Also, something equally as important, it's a good amount of cordage. Now, this is just the cord I have in here right now. I'm going to replace this with 100 feet of high-vis orange, because as I've learned, this is going to be very hard to see. If you put this down in the woods somewhere, it's going to be very hard to find. When I did that mock Bugout video with Gavco, with Blade HQ, we're doing the improvised shelter, and I had this paracord. Well, I set it down on some rocks, you know, by the river, and I was thinking, you know, it's brown, you know, it's not going to be hard to see. I didn't put it down in any kind of brush. We looked for 10 minutes before we found this bundle. So that's not good. If you can't find your cord, plus if you had high-vis orange, you could take little pieces and wrap around tree branches and make markers with it. What I mean by that is you can just, you know, tie a little knot around a tree branch so that, you know, that much is showing or whatever. And it's high visibility orange. You'll be able to mark where you've been so you don't keep backtracking and just go around in circles. They sell them, I know at my Walmart anyway, and hunting, sporting goods stores. I know Browning makes some. They're just tree markers. They look like orange tacks, and you stick them into trees to mark where you've been and whatnot. So cordage is essential. It is vital, in my opinion, to have some kind of cordage. Almost anybody who has any kind of experience is going to tell you the same thing. So that's not just me. That's pretty much a must. It's just up to your discretion as to how much you want to carry. Something really important also to me is having a good compass. This is a Kamenga Model 27. Sorry if I butchered that name. U.S. military compass. Alright, you know, it's the one that has, like I said, I'm not militarily trained by any means. But it is a very nice compass. It has the north, east, west, and south, along with some of the other little markers on here, are glow in the dark. Alright, so that's pretty cool. It has your, I think they call it a rangefinder. But anyway, it's just a very nice compass. It's you know, even if it's not a very expensive compass, it's going to give you a basic idea of where you need to go. You know, this is kind of, I think this is what you'd use with a map, because it has the little hash marks on it and everything. But you know, I do not know how to read a map like somebody in the military does. But you know, it's going to give me a basic idea of where I need to go. Alright, so that's good. Even if you have a little button compass. I have a button compass that's just as accurate as that thing. So you don't need a big, fancy, expensive compass. That's just the one I happen to put in here. But it's going to give you a basic idea. So that's why, here again, it's important to have that kind of type of navigation along with a map. I would also highly recommend an atlas. I actually have one right here. I would recommend a smaller one. But here's a... Oh, dropping all kinds of books. Webster's Atlas. It's not great, you know, something like that isn't going to be amazing. So I'd recommend getting a small little atlas. I don't know where you would find it. You'd be surprised where you can find stuff like that if you just look around. but that's going to be important because it's going to show you roads. It's going to give you a basic, just a basic idea of the geography in your area. You know, the geographical locations, especially if you have like a topographical map. So things like that. It's just going to give you a basic idea, and sometimes that can make a huge difference. Alright, something that's just kind of a luxury. It's a can of Sterno. Now, if you're not from the States, or maybe you are and you just never heard of this, because it is kind of hard to find. Sterno is a, basically it's like a jelly inside this can. It's basically a petroleum jelly and alcohol product. So it's a, like it says on the front, it's a cooking fuel. You lift this cap with some kind of pry bar or any kind of just rigid, a flat, rigid piece of metal or anything, really. Lift that up, and a single spark from a fire steel will light this, and I think this will burn, how many? It says burn time for up to 2.5 hours. So that could be great. You know, you could boil water in that, and you know, you could take something like this, lift that cap off, and you have a little area right there. Heat up the water inside your water bottle to purify it. You know, you're not going to get a terrific amount of burn time out of it, but that might be all you need. You know, you can use this off and on for, you know, 4 minutes here, 10 minutes here, because you can blow the flame out, put the cap back on it, and keep reusing it for a long time. Like I said, for up to 2.5 hours. And if you spread that out, you know, in a few minute intervals, you could potentially have this for as long as you need to survive. So you could definitely cook a meal over that. So it's just kind of something I wanted to throw in there because I think it's pretty important. If you cannot, absolutely just cannot get a fire going, that's an absolute. You're going to have a fire with that. Now, I would like to get the MSR Pocket Rocket, which is a pocket stove that burns on propane cans. Would really like to get that in the near future. The propane cans are about the size of that Sterno can, if not a little bit bigger, depending on which ones you get. And then the MSR Pocket Rocket itself is about yay big. So it's one more component to carry in here, but I think it'd be more worth it. Inside here, in this just little plastic Johnson & Johnson first aid box, is a bunch of batteries. Now I have AA's and I have AAA's in here. Very common sizes. Maybe not the most ideal storage, but that's what I have right now. It works just fine. Allows me to store my batteries in here for anything you might come across or anything you might want to store in your pack. Like I said, this is going to be plenty of batteries for my mag light down there. Here again, what I was talking about earlier in the part 1 video, morale boost, is a radio. You know, you might have a hard time getting reception, but if you're in an urban survival situation, this is going to be great because chances are you're going to have the radio waves open. If it's not like an end of the world situation, you know, you're going to have radio. Say if it is a evacuation, or if it's an emergency weather situation, like if it's a tornado, hurricane, you're going to have this. You know, you're going to want this. This has a weather band as well. Your WB scan, it's weather band. See? And what that is, it's going to tune in to local radio stations and even some local news stations, and you're going to be able to get weather forecasts from this, which is very important. Like I said, this is not just a economic collapse bug-out bag or anything like that. This is for any kind of situation where you're not going to have everything right on hand. You're going to need to improvise. So like I said, this is important. It's going to keep your morale up because you can listen to music in some situations. You're going to be able to get the news. And, you know, it's just one of those things that's nice to have. It's slim. Here again, like I was saying earlier, dual function, has a little light. Especially like if you have kids and you're able to tune into radio stations, listen to music, keep their mind occupied. Keep your mind occupied. Here again, like I said, morale is very important. Have 3 bungee straps here. Very useful items. Like I said, you never know when you're going to need these. They're lightweight and compact. It's one of those things that has so many features, or not features, but have so many functions. Why not? It's small and lightweight. Why not carry it? Extra pair of socks. Now, like I said, my part 1 video, I have a separate bug out bag, which I have a spare pair of clothes in. And I do have a pair of socks in that bug out bag, but I just have another pair in here, because that's something that's really important. Keeping your feet dry and warm is very important. You know, what is it, 80% of your body heat escapes through your hands, head, neck, and feet. Mostly, though, from what I've been told, is your feet. It's important to keep your feet dry and to keep your feet warm. And here I have a boonie hat. You guys have all seen these. It's good to keep the sun out of your eyes. Keep the sun off of your face, off of your neck, to prevent sunburns. You know, if you're out, even if you're in an urban environment, it's good to keep the sun off of your face and neck. Like I said, you don't want to get sunburns, because more than likely, you know, the rest of your body's going to be covered. So it's just good. It keeps the elements out of your face as well. Like if it's raining, it's really coming down. You know, it's probably going to keep your face pretty dry. So just one of those things here again, why not carry? It's going to be, you know, very, very helpful. Also in navigation, if you don't have sunglasses, it's going to keep the sun out of your line of sight so you can see the path ahead of you easier. In here, this is my food kit. Here again, I will do a separate video of this in the future. There is a lot of food in here. Well, I say a lot. Let me rephrase. I think this is a sufficient amount. There is 2 full MREs in here. Is there 2? Hold on. Or is there just 1? No, I think there's 1 MRE in here. So I have the 1 MRE entree with a bunch of the other snacks. There's a packet of tuna in there. M&Ms. I have some hot cocoa and hot cider right there for when you boil water. There's some packets of instant coffee, packets of Gatorade, you know, electrolyte powder. There's some C-Ration high protein bars in there. Spoon. There's a fork and knife set in here. Like I said, a bunch of the MRE snacks. There's a cracker right there. I have the jelly, peanut butter, cheese spread, hot sauce, pepper, salt, you know, all that kind of stuff in here. Plus I have the heater pack. There's 2 heater packs in here to heat up your MRE. You can also use the heater pack to keep you warm, trust me. Those heater packs are pretty amazing. So I have this in here. This is enough food to sustain me for a long time if you really ration this out. And it's also important to date your stuff. This is when I packed it, 2011. So it's really important, like I said, I packed this a year ago. It's important to keep your stuff dated. I do not have everything in here dated, but I would definitely recommend doing that on your items as well, especially like in your first aid kit. If you are going to store your medicine, your Tylenol, whatnot, if you're going to store it in separate bags other than the original packaging, write the expiration date on it. All right, it's very important, because if you take it and it's expired, it's not going to do anything. With this food, if you eat it and it's expired, it can make you very ill, and you do not want that in a survival situation. So like I said, there's feel-good food in here. That's why I have the cider and hot cocoa. That's morale-boosting food. Plus, things like chocolate and the cider is going to keep your morale up. That's good vitamins, and it's good it's sugars and calories. It's very important. But it's like in Maine Prepper's video I was just watching recently. Keeping your morale up is just very, very important. If your morale goes down, like I said in the part 1 video, you're going to die. Keep your morale up. So there's my food in there. Probably enough food for me for 3 days. That's just for me. Like I said, if I really ration it, I think that's enough food to keep me pretty happy. You can survive 3 days without any food at all. So this is pretty much a luxury. That's a lot of food. I'll do a separate video on that showing all the contents in it. Some people may say that's overkill in food, but I don't plan on it just being me. If I'm with people, I'm with my family, that's going to be food to give to other people for snacks. Like I said, calories, it's very important. Like I said, to you guys, that may be too much. I'm just saying, I may take some food out of there. This is not my complete kit. I might take some stuff out of here, add some new stuff, and whatnot. Survival flare. This you can get these at Walmart. These are made by Orion, however you want to pronounce it. These are very, very nice road flares. I did a video review of these. I'll put a link right here in the video. And these work very, very well for starting a fire, because these burn really, really hot. And these burn for a really long time. Almost 10 minutes. I think I counted about 7 minutes full burn time. So it's good for signaling if there's a search and rescue helicopter looking for you, or there's a search party looking for you. If you're surrounded, if there's a wild animal near you, you strike this, it's going to scare the crap out of them. So it's good. It's a very, very good item to have on you. It's lightweight, it's small, it's compact. It's one of those things, why not carry at least one? Small pry bar. Pretty much only good in an urban environment. But it's good for getting paint can lids off. No, but it's good for the sterno cam. It's good for prying doors or windows open, possibly. You know, it's just one of those things. The pry bar has a bunch of different uses. And this one in particular is lightweight. This is a Dasco Pro. No, it's not a County Com widget, but I do have one of those. It's one of those things, why not carry it? In an urban environment, it'd be a pretty good thing to have. Clipped here again, a redundancy, small flashlight. These are one of the County Com SOLEDs, or SOLED. Special Operations Light Emitting Diode. These lights are amazing. I love these lights. I order these. Every time I make a County Com order, no matter what it is, I always put about 1 or 2 of these in my cart. I love these lights. They're insanely bright. They have an on-off switch, so you don't have to sit there and keep holding the button down. And these I like because they have the little clip. You can attach these to the bill of your cap. I can attach these to one of the flaps on my boonie cap. And it can make a headlamp for hands-free operation. You can attach these to the outside of your pack like I have on my Remora EDC bag. So if you're walking around in the middle of the night, you can have that constant light. Put it on the shoulder strap of this backpack to have light in front of you while you're walking. I keep it clipped in there so that I can have light inside my bag when it's dark. So I love these things. You can get these for like $3 a piece. It may seem like kind of expensive to you guys. You can replace the batteries in these though easily by removing those screws. I just cannot say enough things about this light. I might do a dedicated review of them in the future actually, but I absolutely love them. You can also get them in high visibility orange. Alright, this pocket right here, I've clipped a small knife. This is my Gerber pear frame. One of my first knife reviews ever was on this knife. It's not an amazing knife, but let me tell you guys something. You know, a lot of you guys are, you know, myself included, make fun of Gerber knives. This knife is incredible. It is held up for me. I have tried to break this knife. I'm serious. Now, a lot of you may think that, you know, it's horrible because a lot of people can't even afford this knife. You know, it's horrible for me to try to break it. But I did. I want to see what this knife could handle. I paid about $15 for this knife 5 years ago. Maybe $12, $15. I've tried to break this knife. It would not break. It doesn't even have blade play at all. I've tried. You know, my $260 ZT-0560 and 561 have blade play. So for $260 knife has blade play. This for $15 has none. Pretty amazing. So I just have this in here as a backup because I always have a folding knife on me, guys. You know that. 1 or 2, at least. At least 1. This is a little backup folding knife to carry on me or carry in here. You can use it with the fire steel. Use it for anything. It's a simple design. So I just have that in there. Why not? I'm going to do a video of this in the future. A full-length video. I'm just going to give you guys a basic here. This is one of the food tins you can get from County Com. Basically an Altoids container without the markings, and it's a thicker metal tin. And here basically just have various little tools and assorted items. I have some nails in the bottom you can't see, but I have nails and wood screws, which is good for fixing things to trees, making shelters. You'd be surprised what you can do with that. Plus I'd have my Leatherman on me, so I could use the wood screws. So if you people are about to comment, you know, if I can't use them because I don't have a screwdriver, I'd have my Leatherman. Rolled up fishing line. I do have a dedicated fishing kit in here. I'll get to that in a little bit, but that's some extra fishing line. An extra pencil. I have a small sewing kit in there. I have some, you can call them curved. They're like recurved needles. I think they're called canvas needles. That's good for modified sutures, and it's good for sewing through material. You guys have a rip in a piece of clothing, or you know, your bag, you could fix it with those needles. Extra thread in there, some electrical tape, just a bunch of different stuff in there. Of course, you saw on the top, paper clips. So a bunch of different little things that could make a huge difference in an urban or if you're out in the bush type environment. So just a bunch of little things. Plus this tin. These tins are great to store stuff. You can also cook out of them. In here, some iodine tablets for purifying your water. Let's see, I think you add 1 tablet, or add 2 tablets to 1 quart or liter of water. Alright, so it's iodine tablets. This will kill just about anything, if not anything. I don't think any bacteria in the world can survive iodine, except like MRSA or something like that. So this is essential. Trust me, this is essential to have, because dysentery, giardia, that kills more people out in the bush than anything. Waterborne pathogens kill more people in the bush than anything, any kind of other self-inflicted injury. So that is very important to have. If you're not able to disinfect your water by boiling it, which, like I said, I have a bunch of different methods for boiling my water. If you cannot do that, or maybe it's just really nasty water, drop these iodine tablets in the water and then boil it. Be double sure. You can never be too safe, because, like I said, you do not want anything like that when you're out in the bush. It can and will kill you. So very important to have some of these tablets. Now you can get a bunch of different kinds. This is called potable aqua. You can get a bunch of different kinds, and in my Remora, I actually have the Aqua Ramir. I think that's how you say it. Water purification straw. It's got the carbon filter in it. So like I said, there's a bunch of different water filtration and purification systems. That's just the one I have in here. And I think last but not least, I will do a video on this in the future. I'm not going to open this up and show you guys, but this is my absolute minimalist survival kit. I made this a long time ago. I just threw it in here. This is my absolute minimalist. If I can't carry any of this and I need to venture off and I want to leave my pack behind or whatever, I have this. This is minimalist stuff. So I said, I'm not going to get into that. You guys, I will do a detailed video of this in the future. Everybody does their Altoids 10 survival kits. This is mine. Like, very minimalistic. Alright. That was everything I keep in my Pygmy Falcon. Just to give you guys a better idea, all that stuff was in the Falcon too. Pygmy Falcon too. Alright guys, that was my personal bug out system. This is my bug out bag. Like I said, I have another separate bag with my cooking equipment, extra clothes, and some extra items that I could not fit in here that would be kind of like luxury items. And yes, I know there are some things that I would like to add to this that I have not yet, okay? So that will prevent some of the comments people will have of saying, I need this and I need that. I'm always open to suggestions, so if you have any ideas, please let me know. But try to keep, like I said, try to keep the comments mature and not, well, that's stupid, you have that in there, you need to have this and that. Please keep in mind, this is my personal survival kit. I am not an expert. This is the average, basically what I would consider the average Joe bug out bag. Like I said, there's some things in here that may not be necessary to a lot of you. It may not even be necessary to me, and I may remove it later on and replace it with something else. Also, I would like to stress, this is not the end-all kit. Please do not take this kit and mimic yours exactly. Now, like I said, you can take ideas that I had in this video, of course. But please keep in mind that your bug out bag has to suit your needs and to suit your environment. I live in Georgia, a lot of woods, but there's also urban environments. So I kind of revolved my kit around the two. slightly here and there. If you live out in the middle of nowhere, if you live in the wilderness, you know, yeah, if you live in a heavily densely wooded area, then you want a mostly woodland survival kit, you know, out in the bush. You're not going to need a lot of the things like I have in here, the tools and electronic stuff, because they're not going to be necessary. That's for urban. If you live in, say, New York City, Chicago, you know, any kind of main city, then you're not going to want some of the stuff like survival saws, hatchets, fire-making equipment, you know, tarps for sleeping, stuff like that. You may not want some of that stuff, because in an urban environment, you probably can't make a fire. You're not going to need a saw to cut down trees. You're not going to need a knife to process wood to do bushcraft. You're not going to need some of that stuff. Okay? So please keep in mind your kit needs to revolve around your needs. It has to. Because if you make one mimicking one person online, if you make one just mimicking mine, if you make one mimicking whoever else on YouTube has them, you might be disappointed. It has to revolve around your needs, and each item has to have a specific purpose intended for you. Okay? And if you have a family, if you have kids, if you have a wife, girlfriend, whatever, you're going to have to put some stuff in there thinking about them as well. It may not just be you surviving. If you're setting up a household survival kit, a household bug-out bag, like I know a lot of people do, they make several. You're going to want to do that. Make it suit yours and your family's needs. A lot of people also stress the importance of having several different options. Some people have one just dedicated for urban. Some people have some just dedicated for woodland. Some people have some just dedicated for a evacuation. So going into starting a bug-out bag, you guys need to keep that in mind. You guys need to realize, what are you making it for? And you might want to think about, do I need more than one? Should I make a few? Should I make some for different environments? Should I make a hybrid bug-out bag? It has to be up to you guys. I can't say which one is better. I can't say which one you should do, because it has to, like I said, suit your needs. Okay? Alright, so that's kind of bug-out basics, I guess, for beginners. Also something, you're not going to really know what you need until you get out there and practice with your gear. Like Cody Lundeen says in his books, I don't know if you guys read his books, a lot of you might think he's a wacky hippie. I love Cody Lundeen. I think he's really funny and very smart, but he's blunt. Okay? He talks about practicing with your gear. If you buy all this expensive, fancy survival equipment and don't know how to use it, you just wasted a whole bunch of money. You know, you just bought a bunch of stuff that's really heavy that weighs you down you don't know how to use. Get out there, practice with your gear. Pack your bug-out bag the way you see fit. Go through it every now and then. Don't let it just sit in your closet or in the corner. Go through it. Re-familiarize yourself. Make it muscle memory. Because if you're out there and you're panicking, it's a dark, low-light situation, you might not be able to find the stuff that you need to find in a hurry. Practice with your gear. Familiarize yourself with its location inside your pack so you guys can get to it and access it quickly and efficiently. That's key. Okay? So like I said, you want to practice with it, because you don't want the first time you use your survival gear to be when you're trying to survive. Okay? So it may have just sounded really repetitive, and a lot of you probably thought I rambled too much, but I just really wanted to stress the importance. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I don't want to leave any kind of question unanswered. Alright, so that is my bug-out bag as of right now. September 8th, 2012. I will make revisions to it, and I will keep you guys informed to when I do. So hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments box, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Alright guys, stay safe, stay sharp, be prepared, and God bless. Sherman 614, peace.